everyone, this is Jalen with Growth Inspire. I am back with another video talking about credit, but this time I'm going to talk about how can you put together your own credit dispute by yourself. If you're taking on the challenge of fixing your credit yourself, but you're still feeling stuck or how to put it together, watch this video here as I will go over all the steps you need to do to put together your own disputes. So if you're stuck on putting together your own disputes, please watch this entire video as I will go over all the entire steps. I'll give you full instructions on how to send your own disputes and all the steps that you need to take. Check this out. I decided to make this video to help people out and give them a full instructions on how to put together your own dispute templates and how to send them out in the full steps. If you're still needing dispute templates or template letters, please check out my online store as I have a full do-it-yourself credit repair kit that I'm selling on my website at growthinspire.net. It covers collections, repossessions, charge-off accounts, late payments, and so much more. The lovely thing about fixing your credit yourself is that it saves you hundreds to thousands of dollars of hiring a professional, and it gives you the freedom to practically fix your credit on your terms while saving you tons of money. There's a few things that you will need before you initially send out credit disputes. A few things that you will need is a dispute letter, full copy of your consumer credit report, a copy of your identification, as I will go over what would be considered identification later in the video, proof of address, as you have to verify that your current mailing address is yours, and the typical items, for example, paper, a printer, and envelopes. Now, before I get started, I would like to add that I do not recommend sending your disputes online. I always encourage everyone to send their disputes through mail. I would also like to add this is mainly sending disputes to the credit bureaus like Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and even the Ford Credit Bureau if you ever heard about them. Alright, so here are the 6 steps that I would recommend that you do before you send a credit repair dispute. Step number 1 will be pulling your consumer credit report. This is the first step because you will have to know which accounts are doing damage on your consumer credit report and go from there. There are tons of different solutions that will let you look at your consumer credit report. One of my favorite ones would be annual credit report, as it will let you pull your credit report for free at least about once or twice a year. So that would be my first step, is pulling your credit report and seeing all the derogatory accounts that are affecting your credit. Step number 2 would be highlighting all of the errors that you see on a consumer credit report. If you need to know what items that can be disputed on the consumer report, I have a full checklist that you can download and purchase, and I'll leave a link for that as well. Step number 3 is picking accounts and picking one single error to dispute on your consumer credit report. There is over 20 different items that you can dispute on a consumer credit report, and I encourage people to only dispute one thing at a time, as I would like to call a dispute a round. Every single round may or may not result in an automatic deletion. It may come back updated or verified, or it may come off deleted. For example, if you disputed one thing that is an error and they respond back updated or verified, you can pick from another item to dispute as well. For example, if you attempt to dispute 3 different items on a consumer credit report and it comes back basically verified or updated, you basically lost 3 different attempts in one single round, if that makes sense. But if you have any questions about that, I can make another video discussing rounds and answer any questions that you may have with my email. The most derogatory accounts I would recommend people dispute at once is 5 accounts at the very most, but I have in the history in the past disputed more than 5 accounts at once and been successful at getting them removed. But I will say it can be more difficult, as the credit bureaus, they will kind of catch on if you're basically sending in disputes for credit repair versus having a actual error on your consumer report. So again, at least or at the most 5 different accounts and picking one error per account to dispute. Step number 4 would be putting together the dispute. So once you have the accounts that you want to dispute with the errors that you see or the one aspect you wanted to dispute, it's time to start putting these letters together. Again, I do have full dispute letters available for like almost anything that you need to dispute on there. So if you need dispute letters, just peek the description and I will leave a link to having my letter library that I carry. Perfect thing about my dispute library is they're practically just plug and play. All you have to do is just type in your credentials, like your name, your address, date of birth, all that stuff to verify it, and then put the account name and then the account number, and then you're practically just good to go. Step number 5 is printing out the letters with the copies of identification and copies of address. So once you have the letters typed up, processed, and ready to be printed, you also need to print out different identifiers to verify your proof of identity and proof of address. This is a very critical step, as if you cannot verify your information, it can negate the process and make the process a little bit longer, as the credit bureaus, they do not like to process disputes unless you have a valid proof of identity. Some of the most typical items that can be used to prove identity can be a driver's license, a state issue ID, a birth certificate, social security card, a passport, and a federal ID. Also, you need to provide a proof of address as well. Proof of address can be a phone bill, a utility bill, a copy of a lease, a house deed, anything that has your name and your address. So if the address on file does not match up, you can always scan in the old bill or a utility bill. You can scan it in, upload it on like Google Docs or Microsoft Word, and then manually type over the old address with the new address. So again, you need to have 2 copies of identity and 1 proof of address. Step number 6 is sending the letters with certified tracking or first class or priority mail. You would want to put some sort of tracking on your mails and your disputes that you send out, because the credit bureaus, they legally have 30 days of delivery to verify or delete the items that you dispute. You will be very amazed that the credit bureaus, they are very inconsistent, or they take longer than 30 days to get this information back to you. So what just say you put tracking on your mail and it got delivered and then it's been past 30 days and you haven't gotten a response yet, that can be grounds for a deletion of the account automatically if they do not respond back within 30 days of delivery. I use items like, you can use certified mail with the post office. I use first class mail. I use priority mail. I even use UPS and ground shipping to send out some of my letters, depending on the urgency and the turnaround time that I'm looking for. So that is a very important step. It is not required, but it is recommended to put some sort of tracking to keep up with the progress of the disputes. Pretty much sums up this video here. So it's pretty short and it's pretty straightforward. So if you need the full do-it-yourself credit repair kit, I sell it on my online store, and I left a link at the bottom for you to shop around and look and see if that's something you can benefit from. If you have any questions or anything, you can reach me at support@growthinspired.info, and I will respond back as soon as possible. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll answer any questions that you may have. I'll see you at the next video. See ya.